The story of the Pirate King may have ended, but for the Straw Hats, life goes on. And for Nami, the girl who once dreamed of drawing a complete map of the world, her journey had only just begun. This is the tale of what happens to the navigator of the Thousand Sunny, when the seas finally calm, and the age of adventure gives way to the age of legacy. From the moment she was a child, Nami's dream was clear. A dream born under Bellamir's roof in a small village oppressed by Arlong. A dream to capture every sea, every island, every corner of the vast blue planet in one map. But chasing dreams costs blood, tears, and years. Traveling with Luffy and the Straw Hats, Nami had seen the impossible. Sky islands, frozen seas, islands made of fire, the terrifying calm belt, and even the mysteries of the New World. And now, at last, the journey of the Pirate King gave her all the knowledge she needed. With her logbooks filled, her memory overflowing, Nami returned to Cocoyasi village, not to rest, but to begin her life's true work, drawing the world map of dreams. When she walked through Cocoyasi's streets, children gathered around her like she was a legend. To them, Nami was no longer just the girl who grew up under Arlong's shadow. She was a hero, someone who stood beside the Pirate King himself. But Nami never let the fame change her. She visited Nojiko, shared long talks about Bellamir, and laughed like the old days. She invested her treasure in rebuilding the village, making sure no one ever suffered under tyranny again. For the first time, Kokoyasi felt like more than just her home. It felt like her anchor. But Nami was not content with just maps. She wanted to ensure that no young sailor would ever sail blindly into storms or lose their way in the Grand Line. So she built something new, a navigation academy. Here she taught young dreamers about the art of reading the stars, the patience of studying tides, and the courage to face storms. But more than that, she taught them about freedom, that a navigator isn't just someone who guides ships, but someone who guides people toward their dreams. Though the Straw Hats parted ways, their bond never broke. Luffy visited often, sometimes sneaking into her academy classes, laughing louder than the students themselves. Sanji, as always, treated her like royalty, cooking massive feasts whenever he dropped by. Robin often collaborated with her, adding history and archaeology to her maps, turning them into chronicles of human legacy. Even Zoro, though he rarely admitted it, respected her deeply. He once said, "Without you, we'd have been lost 1,000 times over." That single sentence stayed with Nami forever. And Usopp. He became her biggest supporter, telling children stories of their adventures while pointing to her maps as proof. In time, the world noticed Nami's work. Her maps were not just charts, they were treasures. Kingdoms sought them, scholars praised them, and adventurers relied on them. But Nami never sold them for power or money. Instead, she shared them with the people who needed them most. The dreamers, the explorers, the children who dared to look beyond the horizon. Her world map became known as the Sea of Freedom chart. A map not owned by kings or marines, but by everyone. It was her gift to the world. Did Nami ever fall in love? Some say she did, though she kept it private. Perhaps with someone who understood her spirit. Perhaps with someone who could stand by her without trying to cage her. What is known is that she lived surrounded by warmth. Children adored her. Family surrounded her. And she always had her Straw Hat family returning to remind her she was never truly alone. On quiet nights, she would sit by the cliffs of Cocoyasi, staring at the horizon. The stars she once followed as a young navigator now whispered back to her, reminding her of every storm, every laugh, every tear. In the end, Nami's life was not one of riches or thrones. It was one of purpose. She completed her map. She taught the world how to dream. She turned her pain into hope for others. And though she was never the Pirate King, she was something equally powerful, the guide who made the Pirate King's journey possible. Because Nami's greatest treasure was never gold or maps. It was her freedom, and the family who gave it to her. This was the story of Nami's life after One Piece. A navigator, a teacher, a dreamer, and a legend in her own right. What about you? When the seas of your life finally calm, what legacy will you leave behind?